Yeah, man, this is Vibes Entertainment Live. Special guest, Mr. KENDESIE Mohammed, you don't know. One of the greatest of all time. So let me introduce to you Mr. KENDESIE Mohammed, you don't know.
What's up, man? How you feeling?
Greetings to you, good brother, brother. I'm feeling good, man. Give thanks and praise. Thanks for asking. What about you?
Well, no, man, it's definitely a beautiful day, and man, life is good, man. What else can I say?
God is good all the time. Salam alaikum. You know, give thanks and praise unto the Most High. So, Mr. Mohammed, just introduce yourself to the people. You know.
Well, my name is Kandisi Muhammad, and man, I feel good to be on your show. I appreciate the invite, and yeah, man, I'm feeling blessed.
God is good. So, first, let me start out. You're a successful businessman. How long now you're in business?
Um, you know, man, I gotta credit my grandma because like I never really tell this story, but growing up in Buxton, one of the things that my grandmother had was a little stand, and she sold chicken foot, she sold pulleri, she have 8 kids, 24 grandchildren, 17 great grands, but she raised her children and some of her grandchildren on a small little stand selling pulleri. And at that time, before I left the country, I used to be with her on the weekends. I think I was 8 or 9 years old. And when you're the one of the only boys in your family, they got you running up and down. Go get ice, go get this, go get that, right? So you learn at a young age about business, about life, and just being responsible. Being wise, being responsible. And so I would say that my first mentor teacher was my grandmother because she showed me how you can take a little stand and feed a lot of people.
Yes, well, I know what you're talking about because I come from country. I come from Bedford Wacton Village, and I used to be in Buxton. I used to be by Mama Annie. That is Mama Fifi's sister. Just,
Mhm.
ju-
Mhm. Mhm.
just she used to live just behind UC Kwayano. Cause UC Kwayano
Mhm.
used to mine African bee. A lot of people don't know. That is where you used to use on. He never used sugar. Cause UC Kwayano is a vegetarian. You know. So I understand what you're talking about with the sweetie stand because I also grow up in that type of environment. So give thanks and praise. This show is you show, so I'm gonna just ask you questions. You know what I mean? One of the greatest thing that I realize with you is that you've been writing some very entertaining blogs about Guyanese artists and Guyanese music, and you've been highlighting them a lot. And it's a joy for me to highlight you because you behind the scene. A lot of people are able to see moment, but I never see you in person. And you've been a blogger for years too. You're a consultant, you're a promoter. So just um, express yourself and let the people know the type of different category you're in because there's a lot of artists look at this show, still need help where promoting is concerned and the music business because I know you get good ideas in the music business. Because one thing I could tell you that I read that you wrote one time, you wrote and say a lot of artists always saying that they want the royalties and you said to them, you got to get streams, and the streams is just paying 2 cents per stream. So what are they talking about? So I see you have to highlight that and explain to them, and that's a very great article you wrote. So explain.
So one of the things, that I've been stressing to a lot of artists in Guyana and a lot of artists in America, and I'm talking about artists of African descent. One of the books that I introduce um, to artists to is called This Business of Music, right? And it's as thick as a Bible, man. The thing is like this right here, right? It's a boring book, right? But it broke down how the industry look at the business. And if you sold this much, this is what you will get. Maybe a few people have read this thing, but for the people who have not read it, I would like to tell you, go to your local library, go online. Maybe there's like audio. Read This Business of Music. And it's written by a lawyer, right? Um, Artists have to read, look, just read every day. Read about your industry. And I'm not talking about gossip. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about that good trouble to know that if you're an artist, your music is worth billions of dollars, not millions, billions of dollars, right? But if you look at it like if, oh, I'm just doing it for fun, I'm not doing it for the money, other people are going to take your money. And you can't blame nobody but yourself because you didn't study the business. You didn't put in the work. You weren't willing to go through the process. But if you are willing to put in the work, guess what? You're gonna benefit, your kids gonna benefit, and your grandkids, kids gonna benefit because you put in the work so they could reap some of the rewards. And that's the thing that I see when it comes to a lot of young artists and some of the old ones. They don't like reading. They want they want everybody to read that contract for them. And then when things go bad, oh, look at Puffy. Oh, look at Damon Dash. Oh, look at Jay-Z. No, look at yourself. Because you're the one who is signing the contract. It's your life, it's your business. So I would encourage artists to to read, Hey, if you look at the rock and roll artists, right? You never see them dressing up with a whole bunch of chains, a whole bunch of rings. You know what they do? Before they even make an album, they go on tour. They practice their work, and then when they finish practicing it and it's solid, then they hit the studio. But they making sure that they're traveling, they making sure that they're touring, right? The hip hop and R&B artists, they want they want the car, they want the house, they want everything before it's time to get it. And so with that said, because I know that Guyana is a new market, I feel that I feel responsible to talk to my Guyanese veterans to let them know that look, you could make money. If you're a Guyanese artist and you make your first million, you got 200 million GT money, right? But if you make 5 million, then you know, I mean, you cutting close to probably over $1 billion GT, and that's big,
Positive.
you know. And that's all my focus was, along with. So when you're talking about like copyright, right? I'm talking about wealth creation. Copyright is wealth creation. If there's no copyright, there's no opportunities to create wealth. So when you hear um, certain people in power say, "Oh well, we don't want we don't want to pay for books. We don't want to pay for this." But so you're going to give away all your artist revenue to another country. You're going to give away all your artist revenue to other businessmen except for the ones in your country. One artist alone can be a billionaire. Imagine if your country got 10, 20 artists, right? So all I'm saying is that when you study the game, you're studying money, you're studying opportunity, you're studying progress, and you're studying where you need to be.
Yeah, because if it's an artist become a billionaire and the artist popular, likewise the country gonna earn and get a lot of things from income because it's like if you get shows and people coming in to see you perform, hotels gonna full, restaurant, taxi, everybody gonna eat. So with the Guyanese artists them now, because I'm an executive producer for years. I got robbed so many times that I don't give up. But the Guyanese artists them, soon as they get one song and the song start to play a little bit, they start to get an ego. And and that is one of the greatest downfall for Guyanese artists. Is that sometimes their music playing in Guyana, but if somebody book them for get a show, how much people going to turn up to look at you perform one song? You know what I'm saying? And when you explain certain thing to them, they say that, oh, you're fighting them though. You know what I mean? You're jealous. You know what I mean? I manage artists for years, K artists, Jamaica, Barbados, Suriname, get them on all the shows that used to keep in Guyana. No matter what show in Guyana, I used to get them on the shows. But they never used to get money, but I used to get the recognition. You know, people could see them and know them. But at the time, I was still green within the music business because certain artists used to want to play certain artists that never want to be themselves. And if you want to be somebody else and you want to fill a person's shoe as an upcoming artist, it's not going to work. Not everybody get a luck. You know what I'm saying? So there are some things that I see you wrote. It's very sensitive when it comes to music, and I hope they read it like how I read it. You know what I'm saying? You're a very good writer. You take your time and you do a lot of investigation before you put out your product, and I respect that.
So one of the things that I noticed, um, and it's something that David Granger spoke about, and he was saying like, look, there's opportunities coming to Guyana, but the Guyanese people are not prepared. Sir Robin in Buxton noticed that a lot of the boys was having a hard time reading and writing, right? Music is 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 a great way to teach some of these young people how to read, how to write, how to structure your hook, how to structure your verse, because they all love music. Everybody loves. I don't know who don't love music, by the way, right? So it's a great way for these young people to learn how to read and write. So I when I read the article that David Granger put um, in a newspaper, I was scared because he was right. I talk about copyright, but it's obviously we're not ready yet. We ain't ready for oil. We are like way back. But it is an opportunity. Guyana is a virgin country, and the opportunity for someone like me or yourself to come in there and make things happen, put together a pro, right? Influence the government to at least put some type of copyright in place. It's it's wide open, man. A lot of money could be flooded into the market, and we don't even have enough buckets to catch it. We don't even have we don't have enough barrels to put the money in. It's so much because let's look at let's look at Mariah Carey real quick, right? Mariah Carey Fantasy did over 60 million. All I Want for Christmas do about 3 million a year, and it's already done over 100 million probably. So what is the song worth, right? What is one song worth? One song could get you $1 billion. One, but here's the thing though. Before the artists get to all that, they need the exposure. They don't realize they need the exposure so they could practice being in front of large crowds, so they could practice entertaining them, so that they can have that confidence on the stage so they're not always lip syncing. A lot of artists, they got their one song, but in the one song, they're like this. And I'm like, say the words. It's your words, say the words.
One of the
We
one
didn't pay all this money.
to come see lip syncing. One of the reason for that is that back. Let me just go back a little. Back in the earlys, a lot of artists used to practice on live drums and sound system. So when an artist come from a sound system and he goes into a recording studio, it's a different place, but you get a hedge over going and recording your vocals, and then when you come to a live session, it makes you get better. But artists these days they never come with sound system. They just start, especially the ones them just come. They just start. They get a laptop. They just start singing. They sing a song, and they put it on YouTube or TikTok, and it gone viral. Now for perform it, they can't perform it. Sometimes they don't even remember the lyrics. Sometimes when they do, they get a DJ playing back the song on a record in the background. That's why me personally, I don't like a song system on a live show. I love a live band. I don't like sound system. I love live band. I want to see your energy. I want to see your vibes. I want to see you break the band down because you could do one song for 15 minutes. Even though if the song is a big song and you got a band, but with a sound system you can't do it. You know what I mean? So when it comes back to the artists them in Guyana, the promotion with artists, the politics in Guyana with music is very nasty. It's one set of people all the time, year in, year out, getting the money. One set of producers, I know them bitches good, you know. They getting the money from the government, and when them are giving the artists the production that they're supposed to get, them are teaching them the basic of recording. So the artists come in the studio, they record a song, boom, you go and mix it. When you come now and you put it in your song system, you gotta turn the volume way up to get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? And the producers them and the engineer them, some of them, I know them good. Some of them in Guyana, they're very wicked. They're taking the government money and them are doing what they're supposed to do. They're taking the money for themselves. So some of the artists them frustrated, which I understand. But artists need to stand out and talk because if artists and sing, the engineer and them can't get money. And I blame some engineer. if an artist come inside my studio for do a song and I listen to the lyrical content, I tell you plain, listen here what happen. I don't do those type of song. You gotta go come back and do something. You're looking for permanent crop, you're looking for cash crop. You understand? And you know it all because talk about a band that you recently launched.
But before I talk about that, I want to touch on what you just said, right?
Mm-mm.
So here's how I look at music, right? The people who set the bucket before the rain comes are gonna always win. The people who going to set the bucket, they're gonna get wet. And when they get wet, they're gonna complain about, oh man, I'm soaking, I'm wet. Like I didn't expect all this, right? Well, it's rain. You knew it was coming, but the people who said they bucket gonna set they bucket, peek out their window, and say, man, that's a lot of rain. And if they have a couple of drums, they're gonna fill those drums up. This is metaphoric for money, right? Because I want to give a Guyanese analogy, but reference it to money. The rain that's coming is money. The barrels that's catching the rain, well, that's the bank. And those of us who are saying, okay, well, these people they have opportunities, and these people they don't. Well, it's a competitive world, right? And if since it's a competitive world, you got to fight to get these things. And in business, here's what people don't understand: corporate takeover is real. Buying out people is real. The name of the game is still a guy. Why is it the Guyanese people is mad at the game that being played and they design it? Let me give an example. We know it's a pay to play. It's been the Guyanese game, but we mad about the game that we designed over the years. The Guyanese people have even said if they want me to vote for them, they got to pay me. That's not how it works. Somebody got to pay you to vote for them so they can help you build roads and build houses and create jobs. They got to pay you for that. Okay, fine. Take the money. Then when you pay them a slight something to vote, they're now complaining that they're not getting that other money. No, your job was done when I paid you to vote.
Positive.
Now go back home because you weren't planning to vote anyways. Go back home, you got paid. Now the people who are serious, they're gonna keep on growing with me because they're doing the paperwork. They showing up to parliament. They helping these moves to make. Now I'm talking about the people who put up the money versus the people who are looking for a handout, right? So the buckets are already laid. Guyana been known that we had oil for 200 years now. Gold, diamonds, these we've been blessed. The music, well, that runs in our blood. But here's the big thing: how many of these artists and these producers have their buckets set? Now, here where it get rough. It's either I'm gonna come and set my bucket near yours, or I'm gonna be spiteful and kick it out the way. But this gonna lead to war where I'm gonna kick yours out the way, and we both ain't gonna get no money. So when it's pay to play, you know what, DJ? I'm gonna go ahead and throw you a couple dollars so you can pay this thing for me. Then, um, you know what, radio? Same thing. You know what, TV? Same thing. And the people who are paying to play, they're the ones who are getting ahead because they understand business. Let me give an example. Everybody like Coca-Cola, everybody like Pepsi, but Coke spend millions of dollars to advertise every single year.
So true.
Everybody like McDonald's, but guess what? McDonald's is spending millions of dollars. If people understood how much the record labels in America was spending to get an artist on the radio, they wouldn't even do music. It's 200,000 US. So if you got promoters and DJs who's willing to work for free and the artist is still complaining, you cut that artist off. You never
Positive.
do business with them because they don't know they don't know the business. And that's how radio stations get their revenue because people are paying for advertisement space. But if newspapers want to publish you for free because they like you, hey, salute. If, for example, you're now telling me, hey man, I'm going to interview you, I didn't pay you. So now when we get off this thing, I got to go promote this video. I got to chop it up, push it across social media because you're a stand up guy. You did me a favor. So now I got to go and push this thing so it could get a couple of likes because you already did what you had to do. Now it's my turn. But we think it's an entitlement of, you know what, you just gonna go ahead and scratch my back and I'm gonna forget about your wide back. You got a wide back and it don't need scratching, only mine needs scratching. It's selfish and there's no room for kids in this game. This is a game for adults. This is a
When you
game for chess players.
when you speak about
Huh?
cooperate, and then I think about commercial, because if you don't get commercial and cooperate with your music, you no way.
I was just telling a friend of mine, he's like, man, I want to make street music. I'm doing it for the dudes. I'm like, those dudes don't buy tickets to concert, champ. And Guyana got this thing where all the dudes come out and leave their women at home. So when you look at some of these shows, it'd be a 50 Cent concert, right? When I go to parties and shows, I go in there because there's women there. If you're an artist and you don't have the relationship with with your community, build it first. Go to the open mics, perform at the yard, perform at the market. Because as a promoter, I don't want to do all the work for you. I want, when I put you on my stage, you now have the ability to attract people. So I prefer to go and pay Little Wayne. I prefer to go and pay Natural Black, somebody that got a pull, than for me to suffer in my show to bust because I chose someone that didn't have the following. They lazy, they at home watching YouTube videos instead of putting in the numbers, instead of building their database.
You gotta know
We
to sell
spoil them.
yourself. You gotta know to sell
Yes,
yourself, man. A lot of artists
yes. We
lazy that they don't know to sell themselves. They just sing and that's it. There is so much advantage right now selling yourself. Social media for one, meeting with people two. You know what I mean? It's not hard to stop and say, listen, my name is so 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 so. I got this song. Can you listen to it? If yourself you buy some cheap flash drive and put Trey's song on a flash drive and give it to somebody. Say, look, take this for free. This is my music. Listen to it. You know what I mean? Because mouth to mouth advertisement is one of the greatest gifts God has ever given to mankind. You know what I mean?
so
Um,
all right. I was talking to. I made a post, right? And I was like, we need to boycott all the radio stations, all the promoters, all the DJs. Let's boycott them. This was a bluff, by the way, right? I'm saying this because I want to see who gonna pop out. My dude from Channel 67 pop out and say, "Hey, Kendisi, you know that's wrong because we are the reason why Party TV was jumping. If the artists want to get their stuff played, you simply send them down with their DVD. I post that. You know who went and got exposure? Paul Perry. Paul Perry is a guy that go to all the parties performing.
He's so smart. You looking at the show right now. He's so smart.
Yeah,
Paul Perry is
well, I
so
can't even
smart.
see him. I can't even see
Yeah.
him, but I
He's
could tell
looking at the
you,
show. Yeah,
I could,
he's there. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
in- I
Paul
interviewed
Perry,
Paul, interviewed him last week. He's so simple and so down to earth and humble. You know what I mean? He's just cool. I was even talking to Gucci Boss today, and I was telling Gucci Boss about Paul Perry. He said, man, I love Paul Perry for his naturalness. You know what I'm saying? And the guy is so smart with his business. He's selling himself.
yeah. So what I saw was Paul Perry was going to all these small events, all these events out there, and he was building his name up, right? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start really looking more at Paul Perry. So we put Paul Perry on on Kaito Radio. Then Paul Perry went by himself and go on to Channel 67. And then I start saluting him. I'm in America and I'm saluting Paul Perry all the way from Guyana. I'm like, keep on doing this, brother. Keep on doing this. You on your way. Because he has the drive and the focus. But what I'm going to tell you that artists have to stop doing is stop using words that will cripple your career. For example, if I tell you, man, they ain't giving me no opportunity, I'm cursing myself instead of saying, man, one day I'm going to get this opportunity. I know it's coming to me, so therefore I'm going to put in the work. That's positive. They ain't giving me no opportunity. It's basically saying that I don't believe in myself. I'm not making myself notice. So what I try to tell artists is that stop cursing yourself. It's like it's like a woman saying there's no good man out there. I mean, how long you gonna keep saying that until you don't find nobody? But if you're saying there's some awesome people out there, I know I'm gonna meet them one day. I just gotta put in the work. I gotta build my pockets because for the people that you can't give money to, maybe you could take them out to lunch and you pay. Maybe you could give them a little gift or something. That's the name of the game. Because let's say, for example, right? I'm bringing nothing, but someone else is bringing you $1 million. You're gonna keep, yeah, me and you cool, but how long you gonna keep dealing with me who keep bringing you nothing versus that guy who dropping you $1 million? Then your kids now, your kids is like, Daddy, like, thank you for the shoes, thank you for this, thank you for that, and you see yourself moving up. You're like, yo, Candice, me and you cool and everything, but bro, like, what up though? Right? So what I'm saying is that the name of the game is pay to play. Because let's say, for example, you go and you pay YouTube or Google or Facebook or whoever, you pay them $1. Somebody's going to pay them $3. So they still love you, but they push you down and give that other person
Because they paid
preferential
$3.
treatment.
Because they paid $3.
And
That's it.
because people don't understand the game like that, they fall victim to their ego. And the ego is telling them, I'm the man, but they don't got no following. The ego is telling them, how come these people ain't rocking with me? Like, did you work? so they could see you. Out of sight, out of mind. And another thing about the game is it's not who you know or what you know, but it's who know you that counts.
Positive.
So eh, so about this band that I've created, right? The reason why I started to do that because my Guyanese artist was stunning on me. Me, the guy who started Party TV and was giving all the DJs an opportunity, all the artists an opportunity to shine. You wouldn't have to be nobody to be on Party TV. You just had to be a cool person. I put you on. They start stunning on me. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna teach y'all promotion 101. I kept dropping songs after songs after songs after songs, just to say your song, your music don't matter. If you don't have the drive to put it up, to make sure it's showing up in the Google search engine and different platforms, it don't matter. That's what promoters do. And I'm a writer and I am a promoter. And because I'm that, I could now not worry about an artist. I could just say, you know what? I'm just gonna let these videos start building up. And then when they come to me, they're gonna say this about me. Oh, Kendesi, he always charging. Yes. Because when I wanted to do it for you for nothing, you thought you were king before time. You didn't want to conquer no village. You don't want to do no massacre. You just wanted to be king, just to be king.
So true.
So that's why I started the Kendesi.com band because I was like, you know what? I I got tons of materials.
You got a new song
I'm
out
at an
recent.
article,
You got a new
huh?
song out. You recently got a new song out too.
I
You got a
I
new
released
single
three
out.
yesterday. Yeah, I
Single.
released three yesterday because like I enjoy writing and I pay attention so much that I could put together something and make you feel. I'm really not just a creative writer, but I'm a poet, right? So with that being, why everybody talking about gunshot, kill him, kill him, kill him, I'm talking about baby, like I'm gonna make sweet love to you. Why? Because I know that music, I'm trying to attract women to come to the venue so the dudes could come out and spend money. I don't want a whole bunch of dudes coming out to my stuff because if that's happening, then I've lost what I'm trying to do. When you're an artist, you help people make money with your talent. You go to a stadium, not only do your fans get to enjoy it, but the security guard get to make money, the DJ making money, the promoter making money, the venue owners making money, the shareholders making money,
The uncard
you
boy
making
too.
money.
And the uncard boy from the outside making money too. But you know, the thing with the music business where all the man, all of a man, a bag of man a pack up in dance these days. One of the reasons for that is the beats. The beats. When you at, in the early 80s, 90s, that's why soca and Afrobeat mashing up dancehall. Well, Cartel come back now bringing Cartel get the rhythm out now in straight vibes. So Cartel
Mm,
come back, Cartel is dancehall. And the world boss gonna bring back dancehall. But for the 30 years that Cartel have been incarcerated, you get a thing named trap dancehall. I mean, I really bash nobody. But when you go to a dance, the man up on one side and the woman up on the next side. And the reason for that is because they don't have the rhythm and giving them no vibes for them to dance and sweat out. Because years ago when you're in a dance and you're bubbling and You're winding up and thing. The music nice, 90s hitting you. You're sweating out. You know, Buxton Studio 35, Temporary Hall, BV Community Center, and all those places when you go to a dance, Pleasance, Duck Dance, and then place when you go to a dance and you come out, your skin wet. So now the bagger man have to pack up because the woman up on one side, up on because the music, all they doing is shaking glass and they're putting up their hand in the air. And that's it. Smoke instead of weed. And that's it. So that is why a bagger man, that's a woman are going nowhere because then I get no music for give them a vibes other than soca. Soca and Afrobeat mashing them up. You understand?
And also too, like I said, man, look, like I always tell any woman who I get with, right? I let them know. I say, hey, I'm a promoter. I'm in the artist business. Girls gotta be attracted to me, and dudes gotta be attracted to you. And they be like, what do you mean? I'm like, if me and you is together and you want to come out with me to all these places, when dudes are attracted to you, that's our customers. When women are attracted to me, that's our customers. But if they ain't attracted to me and they ain't attracted to you, and I mean energy, it don't have to be looks, right? Then we ain't doing nothing. We ain't moving nothing, right? I was telling this to a friend of mine who, when she came into her guy's life, all of the women flee and he's a DJ, right? So I told her, I said, hey, listen, look. Let the women come back. Let the women he don't gotta sleep with them, but they gotta be around so they could show up to these parties because that's why I go out to a party because I want to see beautiful women. Now, if you're a guy taking your woman out to a restaurant, she wants to go out with you because she want to see other people and be around other people. If not, you stay at home, right? Because
So
I
true.
could I could grab my woman close at home and dance to some Luther, dance to some Al Green, some Teddy Pendergrass by herself. I do that. I grab my woman and I pull her close and we start dancing by ourselves. But when we go out, we want other people there who is having a good time. And that's all I'm saying that artists have to be conscious enough to say, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to meet a couple people and we're going to be all good, man. So, yeah, so like right now I'm close to almost 200 songs and that's light work because I might write 4 or 5 songs a day. All my people got studios, right? And that's nothing to me. And along with that, I'm writing these long blogs on all the social media, so I'm my like I'm practicing crazy writing
Stick a pin. So let people know how long you've been blogging.
since 2006. I started blogging dealing with videos, and I started without having a camera. My friend was working for National Geographic, and I went and borrowed his camera, and I took it to Ibiza nightclub. And that night, Biz Marquise, Martin Lawrence, Shook Knight, Boris Kojo, all those guys was in the room.
A lot
And
of big
Ibiza had
stars.
3 floors. So I had a chance to interview a lot of those people. And when I start to upload those videos pretty much online, I wouldn't even leave the front of the club. I go into my car and I start editing right then and there because you couldn't go home until you watch that video. And I'm sure that when before people got to their house, they were watching the videos, and those videos had 100,000, 5,000, 2,000. Back in those days, those numbers, if you had those numbers,
That's
you were
big
really doing
numbers.
it.
It's big numbers. Big numbers. Yeah, those
Right.
big numbers.
So that's when I really started to really blog, and it turned into me taking the content and doing party TV in Guyana. And party TV opened up so much doors that when I go back to Guyana, people's asking me to relaunch it. A lot of Guyanese, like when that went down, they were angry, outraged. But for me, I was on vacation. I was on vacation, and I didn't think that this thing would even blow
Blow
up
up like
like
that.
that.
Blow up like that. Yeah, well, Party TV was good. What year was that?
Man, that ran for 3 years straight.
2005?
So like,
2000, 2005?
nah, 2009 up.
2009 up. Oh,
Yeah, 2009 up, because that's when I came back to Guyana. And believe, here's the amazing thing, right? Is that every major newspaper in Guyana covered Party TV. They
Party TV
they
used to do
told
good.
people it was coming, and I would give people 30 minutes of what happened on the east coast of Guyana, and they would tell me, why is it not longer? And I'm like, yo, it's a Monday. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. But they was like,
Yes.
yo, it needs to be an hour. We want to see everything. I'm like, it's not pasta. It's party TV. And we gonna keep it short for you to keep coming back.
All
The
is coming
mistake
back
that
for
I
you.
made, uh, the mistake that I made was I didn't stay in Guyana because my daughter was born and I had to come up here to try to get her up, right? Guess what? She's still in Guyana. The mother won't let her go, right?
Yeah.
Until now. But I wanted to give her an opportunity to come here and pretty much grow. But here's what I could say, man, that up to today, there's people who ask me what's going on with Party
Party
TV.
TV.
But the result of Party TV is it opened up doors for so many other people to blog, to create their own things, because that once that was taken away, I saw people who just started to grab cameras and try to duplicate it, but they didn't realize that it's a lot of work. A lot of work. We did probably over 5,000 events a year. So what I'm saying is that as of right now, I'm in original content movement, because another thing with party TV that people don't realize is that when you have people's music in the background, they were muting everybody's music, brother.
Positive.
Everybody's music was
Because of
muted.
copyright. Because of copyright. I want to big up all
Right.
the listeners and all the viewers who tuning in and say, give thanks and praise. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for listening. Let's keep on listening to the vibes. This is Mr. Kenzie Mohammed, DJ Bigger the teacher. You don't know. Yes. Continue, Kenzie.
So so when YouTube, when that storm hit YouTube and YouTube was started to block these videos, I was like, man, I gotta take some of these videos down because I'm close to getting a lawsuit, and so I took 2,500 videos down from um from the internet, and it was a mistake. It was a mistake because it upset Guyanese in Guyana, and it upset Guyanese abroad, because there was truly a balance. when it came to the support and vote environment. If party TV to continue, the truth is I could have probably ran for president because that marketing tactic, even Jack Deal and the PPP and them need to spend real bread to do that type of marketing. And that's when Jack Deal, when I started to videotape political stuff, Jack Deal came online and made a threat against bloggers. And I'm the blogger he was talking about, right? And he was like, you bloggers, you. Just like how he's talking about you influencers, you bloggers, you. And I was like, I hear you, Jack Deal. Because even Jack Deal is online looking at them video numbers
At party
growing.
TV. Mm.
He's looking because I'm the guy that came to the country causing disturbance. And meanwhile, his favorite company, Hits and Jams, is probably like, we gotta get this guy out of the country. He's causing too much noise. And they told me, they were like, look, we're not gonna put any of your stuff on our TV station. I was like, okay, fine. I reached out to Channel 67. Then I reached out to Christian Duncan. And
Oh, Christian. Mm.
Christian was like, man, we love the idea, but it can look like Pasa Pasa. I said, he said he's willing to do something. So I had those two. Then I had a lot of businessmen reaching out to me saying, hey, forget about parties. Let's go into sports. Let's do sport television. And so party TV opened up so many doors. Just like how you doing your show, a lot of doors are going to open up as long as you keep going.
Thank you, man.
People are going to
Thank you.
keep wanting to do
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
these things. And that's what I want to tell the artists out there. Don't stop. Keep going. The more you go, you're going to music will take you into the political climate whether you want to be there or not. Music will take you to deal with a lot of business owners. Music will take you, if you're a woman, you're going to meet a lot of handsome guys. If you're a man, you're going to meet a lot of pretty girls. Music is going to take you into places you ain't never been before, and it's going to give you things you ain't never had, but you got to stay humble. Because
So,
today you have it.
mm, go ahead. So let me ask you a
Today you
question
have
before we
it,
forget.
and tomorrow it leaves you.
Trust me. You get a big artist from UK, from United Kingdom, Mr. Sparky Melody, the Duke. It's a well
Hmm.
said. Yeah. A lot of big artists listening to you, Mr. Sparky Melody, bless up, bless up, bless up, London family. Yes. Like I was saying, your production, recording, and who do your mixing and mastering?
So, as of right now, man, I have relationships with a lot of guys in the business, and I work with so many different people when it comes to mixing, mastering, doing the music. In the next few weeks, here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be putting up the credits so y'all can see all those people, who they are, and you're going to be able to reach out to them. I'm still working on my site. My site is really set up to where if you want to find a DJ, a promoter, an artist, you can go to the site and you could find these people and reach out to them yourself. That's the mission of Kendesie.com, really. But it just so happened that the music is also the Kendesie.com band, and the music is promoting the website as well because people are going to see, well, what is this thing? What is it all about? Let me give an example. I didn't check it this month, but last month I had 40,000 people from Guyana that came to the website. And I want to tell them thank you. Because although Party TV is no more, the people who knew about KENDESIE.com, they still support it. They
Because
still show love.
you're very intelligent, you're very smart, you always write so much a interesting blog, and when you do your investigation and you decide to write an article about somebody, I always see you write so great, nothing negative, everything always positive. Every time I read your blog is a joy and a pleasure to read it. And the reason why I ask about production is that in Guyana still we lack a production and we lack of a song.
Mm.
One of the people them that got a song right now is the Chatney Music, and there is a artist and he's an artist, he's a producer, he's an engineer. Bunty Singh, I gotta get on to him. Bunty Singh, I listen to Bunty Singh music and Bunty Singh production. Where it come to Chatney Music, he get everything right. The vocals right, the mixing right, the mastering, the level, and everything right with the Chatney Music. But when it comes to soca in Guyana, nobody can do soca. The only person recently I heard a soca mix, Jomo got a song named At Wine. So when he sent the song to me and I put it in my system, right away I call you. I said, Jomo, who makes this song? He said, Mark Walcott. And I called Mark and I congratulate him because Mark lives in right in New Jersey and his studio is right up Springfield. So Mark did do a track years ago and Jomo and Adrian Dutch they do a song in TikTok. And Mark was that was like over 20 something years. Mark was the producer and the engineer for the track, but Mark migrate and come here. So Mark got a song that he learned because I know he does be with the Yardi them, the Trini them, he makes it a lot of different engineers. So Mark got the formula, but Mark is in Jersey. But I am putting no shots to no engineering guy, But here to say that Pastor Brown's son is a very good engineer. I never heard his work, but a lot of dancehall music that come from Guyana, they don't have no quality. Them and get bottoms, them and arrange right and they have balance and all heap of different things. Some people get a laptop and
So,
they just run with
so
it.
before I get even further into this interview, I wanna send some love real quick. Big love to RGK. That youth going places. Big up to Paul Perry again. Paul Perry is going to sooner or later, if he keeps going, he'll be the king of chutney.
Trust me.
Um,
Trust me.
he needs a good producer. He needs a good engineer. He needs a good studio, right? Another person I want to shout out is Diamond Stone. Diamond Stone is a nice youth, much lyrics. The motivational topic is just bananas. Um, there's some other people that Ellie Gills did a tune, Let's Go. I think everybody should check out that tune, Let's Go.
Who's that? Who's the artist?
Um, yes, Ellie Gill.
I don't know the artist.
Um, yeah, you should definitely check her out. She did a song, Let's Go, and I think IQ Studios actually actually did the mixing and the production work. Um, oh, he don't really call me or reach out to me when I reach out to him, but I'm still gonna show him love. Mark Batson.
Very good
When
artist.
when when I first met Mark Boston, I'm talking about without the beat, and I heard Mark Boston sing. I said, that's a special person right there. And I think Mark Botson also need a vicious producer and engineer to deal with his song. Um, who else?
He comes from your
Who
village. You
else
know
that I
Mark
can?
Batson from Buxton, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
comes
That's
from
why I
your
can
village.
tell you that. I can tell you that he don't talk to me. We used to talk, but he didn't talk to me. I don't know why, right? But I still want to show him love because not because he's from my village, but because Mark and his sister can truly sing. Mark is truly nice, underrated, and he should be getting more attention. And these are some of the people that I don't want them to fade away in the music, right?
You take the word out my
Um,
mouth.
because you gotta focus on
Let me
figuring
give you a
out.
round. Let me give you a round of applause.
You gotta figure out how to stay relevant in a game. Like nobody would think that after party TV, I would swing back out and even doing what I'm doing with artists because here's the thing. I didn't start this in Guyana. I started this stuff in America. I'm I'm in I'm in the biggest market and I'm around the biggest people. So in the back end, I'm especially at some of these events, I get to interview these people. I get to meet them. I get to, shake their hands, right? So this market right here is what get people paid. If you make it in this market, you are king. Just like how Drake had Canada. He had the whole of Canada. Soon as he touched down America, boom, blow up. Big thing. Because here is where you could make 200,000, 300,000 to $1 million per show. And you don't have to run after every show. You can choose, oh, you know what? I want to do only one a month. And if you did one a month, well, at the end of the year, you got $12 million, right? But
Positive.
if you did three, okay, things are looking up. Some people are earning anywhere from 200 to 300 to $1 billion in in one tour. So the game is open. It's just for us to say, you know what? I want it. I want it. I'm going to get it. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, but I want it. And
So,
if an artist or a DJ or a producer or a promoter can say that, they're going to go far because this is an old man business. It's an old man. When I say old man running things, young people don't run nothing. All the people that you see that's running something is the people who are old and wise. They running something. You look at the American Congress, a whole bunch of old men. You look at Guyana Parliament, a bunch of old men who don't want to let go, right? Because you get to a certain age, you become mature and you're more stable and still. A lot of the young people, they want a quick fix and it leads to them losing everything. So let's play the old man game. More connection, more business, more opportunities.
so as a promoter, how do you see it um, back to commercial and cooperate when it comes to the music as a promoter?
I think artists should do all commercial music. Do what gets you paid. Stop trying to please. Look, man, I grew up in the streets. Talking about street stuff only gets you so far. You whatever you live by, you die by. So I'm looking for the next MC Hammer type artist, but in a new stage. I'm looking for the next Michael Jackson, for next Tina Turner, for next Janet Jackson. I'm looking for the next uh, 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 um you know Teddy Pendergrass.
But
But in today's
you know,
version,
the song is changing, right? The song
so
change.
no, here's what I'm saying, right? Is that the sound has changed, right? But will we not agree that these same young people are going back and stealing pieces of the music to make it fresher?
Yes, sir.
So that means that although the song changed, I'm talking about from drill to grime to pop to all that. I get it. But they're still going back and cribbing lines from the best of them to make their
Same
music sound fresher.
same thing in the reggae too. They go back
All
to
right?
back in the old Studio One and the Ska and the Mento and the Rocksteady and the take out certain things from it. And sometimes you gotta listen. You gotta be old school. Sometimes when you hear a reggae rhythm, and then when you start playing some Studio One and some old ska, old 1970 reggae music, you hear where they take out a piece of line at the bass drum and dub it over. Try for refresh and come up with something fresh. If you don't know music, you won't even know where it comes from. You think it's something fresh, but what you're saying is a valid point. They take out pieces to make they look good at this time.
Yeah, sampling. I mean, you gotta look at the melody, right? So, for example, at Sheraton, I think Marvin Gaye Camp filed a lawsuit against him allegedly because, and correct me if I'm saying it wrong or right, because of how a certain melody of his song matched Marvin Gaye's song.
That
So
was what's his name again? The white guy. What's his name?
Ed Sheridan,
Not there was another artist had a problem too. Um, Robin Tick.
okay, yes, 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 right?
Yes,
Because
Robin Tick had a problem. Had to pay a lot of money. A
right,
little piece
so
of line
if
he
you
used.
now there's artists that have to pay $3,000 a day because they went and sampled someone's stuff. It became a hit. The artist just chill, right? This is why in in all the songs I uploaded on YouTube.
One more example. Miley Cyrus. They use a little piece of flower gun,
Okay,
and she had,
okay,
and the record company had to pay him 300. I think it's 300 million US, something like that. Yeah, 300 million US or 3 million US. One of the two. One of the two. Either 300 or 3 million US. I think it's 300 million US.
yeah,
Because
they gotta
the song went platinum.
right. So what I'm saying to you is that the style is more upbeat, more newer, but the the bass is from those people that they listen to, that they're influenced by. They go sample the music, they speed it up, they put more quality on it, right? But when I think about what I'm looking for, if if you don't sound like if you could play at a wedding, I don't want you. If you don't sound like if you could entertain people with disposable income, I don't need you. If If somebody can't sit down in their all white and watch you perform on a little chair while playing your or playing your piano, I don't want you. I want to make music where people are going to come out and they don't mind paying 60 to $5,000 per ticket. That's what I want. I'm
That's
not.
why that's where it come back to the lyrical content and the type of music that artists are producing and engineer are making these days. You gotta make long Jeopardy music, you know what I mean? Because you gotta make music with substance, and your stories have to be nice and right and ripe, so that people always want come in for it and listen. Is like if Barry Salmon come to America every year, he sells out every year. Buju
Yes,
Banton sells out every year.
every year.
You know, those are type of example that I could use. You know, if these old soul artists like Gladys Knights and them, people always go with the New Jersey Park always sold out, and their music is history, music is foundation. You know what I'm saying?
So if you ask somebody this, if you ask a Caucasian person this, you say, who is Bob Marley? They know. If you ask them who's Moxie Priest, they know
Positive.
because those songs like "Oh Baby Baby It's a Wide World," dun 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 dun. I was talking to a young lady. She was like, "Yo, that used to be my jam." White girl, and
It's like it's like you before to take Eric Donaldson's song, Cherry O Baby, and do it over and make a hit.
all right. So I'm not talking about the old. I'm talking about the new because even Jay Z had where he had sampled or took took a verse or something like that, and it led to him having to pay. Puffy, they all had to pay because they took the old and made it new. And what I'm saying is, I'm keeping it straight, and I want to repeat myself. If you can't play at a wedding, I don't want you. If you can't entertain people with disposable income, if the radio stations don't want to play you, I don't want you either. I don't want to waste my time dealing with somebody who I got to explain their music. I want when somebody book you as an artist, they're willing to pay 3,000 to $200,000 to book you because you that nice and you that special. If they gotta be like, well, he cursed too much in this song, he's offensive in this song. I got you. I'm
That's a red flag. That's a big red flag right away.
yeah, your music ain't dope enough, and I gotta explain. I don't want to explain nothing. I just want to be able to hear good music, go to the station and say, play this. And they listen to it and they're like, oh, man, we love that. Right? And look, I see what's happening. A lot of these young people talking about the, the shot up, the pop up, the dot. Let me explain something to you. I'm around them. A young guy, I left Maryland and went all the way to New York to see how he really living. When I got to New York, he invited me to a club that he couldn't even get in. And he couldn't even bring his people in. I said, let me go check this artist out who wants me to pay all this money to bring him to DC. I drove up to New York. When I got to New York, never been in this club, but I'm a promoter. I understand how it works. I said, hey, boss, this artist right here, he's bringing his people. He with me. And I need some of his people to come in, and I walk through the door. The owner was a straight gorilla with getting his money. He didn't care. But he was like, all right, go ahead, man. No problems. The artist himself is stuck at the door. He's angry because he can't bring his people in. That's because he doesn't understand the game. And I knew he didn't understand the game, so I went to visit him. I said, let me help you because you were acting like if you were gonna help me. Let me come down there and help you. And I brought my friend with me. And my friend was like, so you gonna go all the way to New York to check this guy out? I said, yeah, he sound nice. I'm gonna check him out. So I went all the way down there, and he couldn't negotiate. And I had to show him how it's done. He said, man, you don't even know these people, and you just walk up into their venue like it was nothing. I said, yeah, because I understand the game. And when you understand the game, you could play it better.
Another thing with the artists them is the entourage. You can listen to me now. You as a promoter, you got a show. You pay me the artist or the management who in charge. You pay let me say $10,000, right? You pay I take for
Mm-hmm.
the show. But then you bring in 100 people as your entourage. I ain't making nothing. You know what I mean? One big entourage, everybody want to come in free. You know what I'm saying? So it don't make no sense. So as a promoter, what would you do to stop such a thing with an artist and his entourage when you sign in a business contract pertaining to the artist performance? What would you do?
So if you're an artist and you are bringing out 500 people and you got 20 people with you, I let the 20 in. Everyone else got to pay. If you're an artist that all you brought out was 20 people, but you want 5,000 or $3,000, you're not an artist. Artist, you're a moocher. I have to babysit you, and that's not what I'm trying to do in business, right? I'm not trying to babysit artists. Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make money, and a lot of artists don't understand that when you, as a promoter, go and get a venue, you gotta help. If the venue don't make no money, and you got a bar guarantee, you have to pay the bartender sometime. You have to pay security sometime. You have to pay the DJ sometime. But if you make money, the bar guarantee goes away. That's what a bar guarantee. Sometimes you get the door for free, and you still have to put in energy to fill the venue. And if you don't have the time, you got to put ads in the newspaper. You got to put ads on radio, ads on TV, ads on the internet to get people there. All of that takes money, takes time. And the issue that artists is having is that they don't value their own time, so therefore they're disrespectful to everyone else's time. They don't know what it means, right? So let me tell you what it means. You got artists that will go on stage for 20 minutes and make $50,000 US. If you're a Guyanese artist, let me tell you what that means. That means you just made 100. That means you just made $100 million. So that's how I kind of see this thing, right? It's a full blown business, and you want to be around people who have disposable income. And that's the type of people I put myself around, or else I just don't believe in the house like that. I rather spend time with my kids and let them, you know, be around daddy than for me to be in the streets with dudes who broke, dudes who gonna complain because they gotta spend $20. Hey, if you don't have a job, when it comes to funding your craft, you gotta go and get it. And all artists have to understand that. Or you have an investor. The record label is just an investor into your music. They'll give you an advance. They'll give you $5, $10 million, but you got to pay them back. So let me give an example. If if a label give you a half a million and they took five back, don't complain. You were supposed to flip that half a million into 10, $20 million with the first one, right? That's how they look at it. Um, but if you took a half a million, you record your your music for the low, it sounds good. You could pocket some of that money. A lot of them go out and get a big chain, they get a nice watch, they get a they get a car, and the money's done. You still owe the label. The label is your investor. The label is not your friend. The label is not your business partner. They're your investors. So they're going to give you money so you could make more money. Then when you come back to them and ask for more money, by time then you should have had 20, $30 million in your hand, and what you're paying them is nothing. But because the artists don't like to read, they don't like to study, they give their investor the same power you would give to a business partner, the same power you would give to your wife or to your kids or 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 or, or someone that's meant to be beside you. You cannot give your investor that much power, and this is what happens when it comes to the music business. The artists give their investors complete control. Your investors truly don't want to work. They want their money to work for them. You could leverage your investors' relationships. Yeah, they got much contacts. You could leverage that. But when you start making them do all this work, they're gonna charge you. It's a business,
That's
and
why.
people gotta
That's why,
wake up.
as an artist, that's why you said, what's the name of the book again?
It's called This Business of Music, and there's
Yeah,
other books
people,
that you can read
you gotta know the
to educate
business.
yourself.
You gotta know the business
Um,
because some artists these days, right now, they've been doing something to disc jockeys, DJs, because some DJs like dubs, and they're running out a lot of DJs from the business. Some people don't even want do Clash anymore. 'Cause I don't have time with Clash. The Clash is a nice little dub, sing something nice, but me and the set and the song is good for me. But some artists they cost so much amount of money just to do a dub. It's their vocals, yes, but it's just a dub plate. It's just something raw. So they're running out a lot of people out of the music business, bro. A lot of disc jockey, a lot of song system chuck. Because the artists how they behaving because it's like when you hire them, you got a big entourage. When somebody asks them for do dubs, they call a whole set of money. You see how they stay? They want X amount of money for their vocals to do a dub. But when you book them for a show, they want to bring in 100 a bag of man.
but see, that's what I mean, right? Understanding value, right? So I'm an artist, right? I don't care about you giving me $300 for a little dub. I care that you went and played in front of 300 people that's going to eventually give me $20 at the door admission wise. So, yes, I let you I didn't worry about charging you 300, but because you at all these parties playing my song, I'm now will be in the ears of many because you're doing the work for me. So now when I do an event, I'm charging $20 or let's say 2,000 Guyanese, 4,000 Guyanese, right? I'm charging a Granger, and the return is that I will be making a ton of money, and artists would know how I did it. That's because I gave the DJ a break, and I'm gonna continue to give them a break because I'm looking at the bigger picture. When artists is looking at a picture this small, they don't go nowhere, right? It's nothing for me if you want to drop and you say, "Hey man, I want this drop to sound like this." I'm gonna go put on the flyers, clothes, and get you this drop. You know why? Because I know you're gonna put this drop in places that would normally cost money. Your time is money. So if you went and you put that drop on your Facebook and your Facebook got 5,000 people, you potentially introduced me to 5,000 people. So let's look at it.
That's
If
business.
5,000 people showed up and that 5,000 people, I charge them $20, you made me wealthy, sir. And this is what artists don't understand because they've become petty. When you're a petty person and you trying to get all the small money because you're hurting, your pockets are hurting. You can't go out with your friends and floss and do what they're doing. It's called sacrifice. And a lot of people don't know how to sacrifice because they want to do what everyone else is doing. And when they don't go where the 1% is going and they stay where the 99 percenters are, they turn around and say, it was his fault. It was their fault. I want to look y'all right now and let y'all know it was not their fault. It was yours. And we all have to grow up.
Well said. Well said. It's a joy and a pleasure having you on this platform. Thank you very much for your input in everything that you just said. For me, I learned a lot from you, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate all the good work that you've been highlighting from back in 2007 straight
9.
on to 2009 straight on to now. You know what I'm saying? Keep up the good works. Let's keep this unity. Call me anytime. Don't be a stranger. We got a lot of work to do, especially helping out our Guyanese artists that don't understand the business and don't know to cooperate and try to let us shake off some of the egos that they got because there's so much talented artists around the world. Look, I got some music come from London with some good artists like Steve Tulloch, King Malakia, Sparky Melody, um, so much a name, I can't remember all of them, Riverman, Hardio. These artists got some very good production. And you know what? They're not getting nothing out of it. Nobody am playing the music. And that's a problem with selectors and DJs. When you play these, what people don't know, when you play these artists' music and you keep playing it, your blessings gonna come sometime. They got good music. Play the music. Even if you're playing each one song for each and every, I like the music. Keep playing it, put it in rotation. Let people understand that there's good music out there. You get a song named Culture of the Gun by an artist named Devari. I interviewed him already. But the song is a very good song. Is what going on now with these youths who are killing out one another on TikTok. I don't know what the reason for that. And it comes back to the lyrical context with these songs, with these guns and more than shoot your head and Mara drop out and you know what I mean? It don't carry no way. It's just come to violence and who could sing better than who and all these things, you know what I'm saying? Music is not about that. Music is about joy and happiness. You know what I'm saying? Music is the food of love. The great Bob Marley says, when it hits you, you feel no pain. But there's certain music you cannot listen to because when it hits you, you're going to feel pain. Some people commit suicide with certain music. Yeah, you got to know what to listen to. You got to know what to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some music you listen to, people go commit suicide.
it,
Um,
it goes right here and then into the stomach, right?
yeah,
So, uh, what I would
especially.
say is this:
Mm, go ahead.
is that is we gotta be we gotta be mindful about what we say. Then we gotta be mindful about what others say to us because words are influential, right? And we, as a people, have to be influential. You know, I know you thanked me just now for being on the show, but I want to thank my son because normally this is his time. So he's there and he's waiting patiently. And when I look at him, I think about the future. I think about what his world is going to look like because I know what my world looked like. My world was filled with party. It was filled with travel. It was filled with awesome people giving me an opportunity. And when they didn't give it, I went, I stood next to them and I learned. And then I used what I learned to get myself an opportunity. So sometimes
Letitia, good
just being
night.
next to them. Huh?
No, a guest just come on, so telling her good night. You know, I
Yeah,
got a lot of
so
guests from all over the world. You know, they be coming on and listening. You know, what I mean, it's a joy and a pleasure. You know, what I mean,
yeah,
give thanks and
so
praise.
give thanks and praise. But so for the people who can't help you now, if you think they're valuable, just go and stand next to them. If you want to know how to DJ, go stand next to a DJ and watch him play. If you want to know how to be a good artist, go to the studio with an artist. If you want to know how to be a good radio host, volunteer at someone like yourself who got a radio show and sit there and let them teach you about the board.
Good point because just today, this guy from Trinidad that normally goes to different parts of the Caribbean and interview artists, he was interviewing Sean Paul today, and he asked Sean Paul a question. So Sean, how he started. So Sean Paul said he started doing before he start singing. He used to go to the studio. He said like he used to listen to a lot of the big artists, them voice. And then he said like get like a bag of 20 man used to hang out. He said he used to be hanging out and they're quiet and listen to these big artists' voice for like 2 years. He listened to them voice and then used to go home and practice. So he said he used to do conscious music, but the producer tell he can't remember. I remember the name of the producer though. He said the producer tell he said, "Yo, Sean Paul, this is not you kind of music, you know. Go and go sing something with some girl, man." And he said he never regret on this day. He listened to the producer, and then he gonna make his first dancehall tune was about a girl that she boyfriend used to beat her and tell she come you gonna take care of she whatever and that's where he bust out from. So what you saying, it comes back to the same thing. You gotta listen, go stand up and learn if you want to become who you are.
Yeah, it's really that simple. Like, let's say, for example, if I wanted to have my own internet show, I will call you up and say, "Hey, man, I want to come sit next to you. Use me. Use me to make your stuff better because if I can make you better, I can make myself better." So, and that's what people don't understand about when you're headed towards greatness. Practice make perfect. But you gotta keep practicing. And man, I would just like to thank you. Salute my guy. I appreciate you having me on. And you know, you know, next time I hope we could throw some music on and we could talk about what's behind the lyrics.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it much as possible. Thanks very much for coming on the show. Thanks very much for your input. Thanks very much for explaining things in details. It was not a rush. You said we're gonna do an hour. We do an hour and a half because the conversation is nice. It is healthy. It is great. It is excellent. Um, Words can explain. I appreciate you so much, and I will keep continue to read your blogs and send them to me, and I'm gonna read them, and I gotta reach out to you with some editing business, and you take it from there. You get all my information, and it's a joy and a pleasure. And I must give Mr. KENDESIE Mohammed a round of applause. You know what I mean?
Man, thank you so much. And like, God thank my son KJ because he's so he's a baby, but he's so smart and
Yeah.
he understands this stuff.
Daddy
So
time, daddy time, daddy time.
so big love. I'll
Yeah.
catch y'all later, man.
Respect, yeah, bless. One love, respect. If thanks.
All right.